Welcome to another InWheelTime podcast. You've got the InWheelTime Car Talk Show coming up. Pardon?
I said, hoo-hoo. Hoo-hoo.
Wait a minute. That's the sound effect button I've got over here. There you go.
A little bit clipped.
Coming up, we're going to try to talk to Zen Master Ulysses Garcia and get the latest on the JDM stuff, but I figured out what the problem is.
He's not here.
He's on Japanese time.
Oh.
So it's a different hour.
Oh, it was yesterday then.
Jeff's going to bring us some car culture with side view mirrors. Cameras.
Cameras. Side view mirror cameras.
Well,
yeah,
they're the same, but they're just cameras. That's all.
I like them. I think
Mr. Mars reviews the 2025 Chevy Colorado. He's going, well, wait a minute, he's not here. He's here. He stepped outside to take some sort of highly important phone call.
Yeah.
Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin, Chief Engineer David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday morning. We're recording this on a Friday.
Yeah, there you go. I was going to say, how are we going to do that?
Well, we're recording this on a Friday. So if you're watching on a Saturday at our regular time, right on. If not, then you're watching now, and congratulations, you found us.
Yep.
But
we're live somewhere, aren't we?
Yeah, somewhere.
Well,
we think we are because Mars isn't over there doing his thing.
I think we're live in Tahiti.
Really?
Yeah.
Do they have cars in Tahiti?
I don't know. We'll be there next week.
All right. So, since we don't have a Zoom person.
We don't have a Zoom guest.
No. Should I walk out there and get him?
No.
You could tap dance here by yourself for a while.
Boo.
But we were supposed to have Ulysses Garcia, JDM Master. Mr. Mars put Ulysses Garcia, Black Belt JDM Master.
Yeah, he's like the guru of JDM.
JDM is Japanese domestic market.
Yeah.
And why is it popular? Hopefully I'll look at some of his projects. We had it all lined up for you. But I think Ulysses is sleeping in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He probably had a late night.
Could have been. Yeah, he's still clubbing.
Doing some sort of, either that or some parking lot takeover. He doesn't do that.
No.
He goes to the drag strip.
Well, he was a racer.
Yeah, the drag strip.
Yeah, drag strip, or I don't know if it might be drifting too.
No, well, I don't think so.
Could be.
Yeah, he was bragging about eighth mile times.
Oh, okay.
That's the new thing. In my world, it's not the new thing.
No, quarter mile. 13:20.
The other thing is that we wanted to bring up right out of the box this morning, and you may or may not know or recognize the name, Gene Winfield. And Gene Winfield passed away a couple days ago. And we've had him on this show several times when we were at Autorama. And the past few years, he hasn't been doing well enough to travel. And come to find out that he's had cancer. Mm-hmm. And I don't know whether that was the exact cause of death, but at any rate, he was, early 90s, I believe, mid-90s, somewhere in there, and still working every day that he could.
Gene Winfield was an extraordinary car builder, forward-thinking car guru, I guess.
He was a World War II guy, and he was one of the first hot rodders. Came back from the war, and in the late 40s started his own shop, and did some pretty amazing things in cars that you would recognize. He was known for his creations, and matter of fact, he's made appearances on all of the latest hot rod shows.
TV shows, yeah.
And it's always good to see him, and it's shame we're not going to see him anymore, but great guy, very approachable.
Yep.
And I'll never forget, I think we had the biggest stand-up audience when we had him on our show at Autorama. It was quite amazing.
And he would bring his team in, and they would have a separate area, and he would actually do a chop of a vehicle live in front of everybody.
Yes.
And they would hit the welders, the grinders, the guys measuring, and they were young guys. They weren't, I want to say, students of the craft of the trade, but he would guide them, and he would explain the step-by-steps as they're chopping a top off of 50 Chrysler or something.
And I think that's what he was really known for, is how to chop a car, because it's not just taking a Sawzall and going after it.
And it's not just the roof. You can section a car. You can widen a car. You can chop and widen a car as well. Yep. So there's a lot of technical ability there, and he was the best.
He was. And he did all of it by eyesight and experience.
Yep.
And I'm sure that he made lots of mistakes early on, but boy, I'll tell you what, he pulled it out in the end.
And he was a big guy in the industry, but he wasn't a big guy in stature. He was a small smaller,
Wiry.
wiry. Well, climbing in and out of those cars, you got to be.
Exactly. And I think that that's what kept him going as long as he did, because he was always very active and always doing all sorts of things.
Yeah, he lived out in Arizona, didn't he? I think it was Arizona.
No, I think
New
that
Mexico
he lived
or
in
Arizona?
the desert of California.
Okay.
I think he lived in the Mojave Desert.
Yeah. Okay.
I think.
Mike's back.
What was the thumbs up for?
He did. He lived in Mojave Desert.
Yeah. We're just wondering where you've been.
I've been.
Are we even on the air?
Yes, we are. I think. I hope.
We got you there, Mike. We got you there.
Been taking care of business.
Business.
Well,
it is a Friday, and we explained to everybody that it is Friday.
Speaking of business,
we're doing this show live on Friday for playback on our regular time slot Saturday, 10 to noon.
Yes.
So no matter whether you're watching it live now or you're watching it live but recorded on Saturday, there's many elements to all of this. Plus,
just hit the
let's
button.
not forget that this is going to be the spring forward, fall back kind of weekend.
yes. I was trying to explain that to my granddaughters, and they said, "What?"
Yeah, well, it'll become important to them when they get old like us, because when you have a clock that changes by an entire hour, it screws up the next 2 weeks.
So, Grandpa, you're going to fall forward right after this fifth.
That's it.
Yeah, they asked me why. Why do we do that? I got no answer.
Well, I think that originally it was for the farmers.
And one of the things they said was for safety, like in the big cities, because people aren't in the dark so much, they're out in the daylight.
no.
They have all kinds of excuses.
Yes.
It was for the farmers.
Yeah, because it gave them more daylight in the afternoons and the evenings so they could work the crops in the fields. And we're not talking about the wintertime. Now, that has changed. Now it's every 6 months, but it used to not be that way. It used to be a summer thing.
Yes.
For the farm area.
That's true, yeah.
So I lived in that era. And in that part of the country.
Old Farmer Don.
No, but Dad was. Anyway, so obviously Ulysses Garcia didn't get the message that I left for him, didn't get the message that you left for him. Either that or he's ignoring us, which we're very familiar with.
Oh, he got the message.
I don't think
all
he's
right.
ignoring us, because he was very, very receptive to being here. I mean, we talked about it, and he was, yeah.
Maybe he's been arrested.
Or maybe he's still racing or something.
Yeah.
No.
No.
No, not on Friday morning. Maybe he's hard at work and,
Could be. Very, very
throwing
possible.
elbows around in the garage, that
Very
sort of
possible.
thing.
Very possible.
The other thing I wanted to talk about was the tariff fiasco. I got a story here. I got to find it. But the president had all good intentions, I think, but he didn't really think it through until the big three automakers went to him apparently last week and said, Mr. President,
It's not going to work.
well, it'll work. We'll try to make it work, but it's going to cost everybody lots of money. And I think that the bottom line was that the $10,000, roughly $10,000 increase in a car that's $50,000, that's going to put a lot of people out of the market.
Big,
and a lot of
big
people,
percentage.
Yeah, a lot of people out of work. And of course, if you're not familiar with it, then you've been hiding under a rock. So President Donald Trump will exempt automakers from his punishing 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico for 1 month, as long as they comply with the terms of an existing free trade agreement, according to the White House. Trump is also open to hearing about other products that should be exempted from the tariffs, which took effect March 4th, the White House said. Trump's tariffs pose extreme difficulties for automakers, which produce vehicles in all three countries and often ship parts across North American borders multiple times as they get built up into systems and finished vehicles. A 1 month exemption for cars and trucks that comply with the U.S. Mexico-Canada agreement's complex content rules, as Trump has outlined, would be a boon for Ford, GM, and Stellantis. And God knows that Stellantis needs all the help it can get and really doesn't need to be punished anymore, because that would be a real punishment for them, because they're barely hanging on. But the profits have slipped 27% or something like that. It's bad. I feel bad for the great folks that work at Stellantis or used to work at Stellantis that got booted by Carl. Carl. That was a big mess. So anyway, we've got a little reprieve on the tariffs for the automotive industry. We'll have to see how that all plays out. I think that Mexico is supposed to chime in on Sunday. They're supposed to have an announcement. What the announcement is, I don't know. I understand that the president of Mexico, Mrs. Steenburgen, or whatever her name is, was very, very delighted when she found out that the 25% tariff is going to be held off for another month. We'll see how this all works out. But at any rate, think about car company building, let's just say, your car. Where was your Buick built?
I think it was built overseas.
It was.
I think. I'm not sure. I don't know if it was China or South Korea. I believe so. I'll look, but it wasn't built here in the States.
Yeah. So
assembled, but not part. Yeah.
Yeah. Because, manufacturers these days, we call them manufacturers because they actually manufacture cars. They don't manufacture the parts that make the cars. They farm all that stuff out for the most part.
Yeah, I heard a commentator, journalist, whatever they are on TV, going through that.
Journalist? There aren't any journalists anymore.
So I'm saying a commentator. They went through it trying to explain that, that there are assemblies, but the way the tariffs will work will be on some parts, and that there are literally some parts, apparently, that leave the States, go into Canada, so there's a tariff involved there. Then it leaves Canada, goes down to Mexico, so there's another tariff involved there. And then it comes back to the States for final assembly, and there's another tariff. And they're trying to figure out how to – there's some complications.
Who gets what tariff,
It's not just a single tariff. There's multiple tariffs if they do it once it's applied to the process. And so that's part of the reason apparently they're backing off of this a little bit, because there's some unknown or unexpected
Tariffs.
Yeah.
So why did the manufacturers decide that they needed to assemble cars in Canada and Mexico with the big three? Why did they do that?
I think it's the vendors, is where the parts are built and how expensive the parts are and where they build them.
I think that may have something to do with it, but as far as
Unions?
Well, Mexico is labor rates.
Yeah.
It's so much cheaper for property down there to have a facility down there and just send people down there to help.
Cost of living?
Yeah. And the cost of living when they get down there. I mean, some of the guys I know with a company that for the AT&T, when we were sending people down there, these guys would go down there and they were living like kings because their money would go so much further down there. And I'm sure that the auto manufacturers run into the same thing. Mm-hmm. So it's not necessarily a hardship to go down there, but then the people that are actually doing the labor, they work a lot cheaper down there. Good, bad, or ugly. I mean, that's just a fact. It is cheaper.
Yep.
Well, Ford has assembly plant, at least they did last time I looked, over in Windsor, Ontario, right across the river. Mm-hmm. And I remember they used to have engines, the Windsor or the Cleveland. And I'm not talking about steamers now. I'm talking about Cleveland Ford engines.
Right. 351 Cleveland or a 351 Windsor. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then it depends on where it was, where the metal was squeezed out.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was something to do with design.
I think that there may have been some differences in design, but I'm not sure.
Huh.
Well, yeah.
Learn something new every day.
There are differences between the Cleveland and the Windsor. That's just...
Yeah. I mean, you can't take the
and
intake off
it's a
one
performance
and put it on
side.
the other one.
Yeah. Tariffs.
Tariffs.
We have
we don't charge tariffs to our audience at all. This is free.
No. We are going to have somebody with the now that I think about it, the Anderson Group. We've talked to them before. They're real big about talking about things like that, EVs. We're going to have them on to talk about the tariffs and what they have discovered and what their.
Why don't you contact the president? We'll just get it right from the source.
Now that you say that, that might be possible.
Yeah.
I know the last president we had tried to find out something about his Corvette. I thought, well, how cool. Let's talk about the Corvette. Man, you got to talk to this person. You got to talk to that person. You got to go to any. You might be able to talk to this guy.
Well, there's one that just got fired recently. We could talk to him.
Well, that's the one that we couldn't get to before, but maybe we can now.
Maybe you can't. He's looking for work, I'm sure.
Think he knows he has a Corvette?
I don't know. He doesn't anymore.
You could teach him to run the board.
He sold it?
I don't know. I would assume.
Teach him to run the board on remotes.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Sorry, David.
Do you think that David is actually listening?
Oh, yeah. He's probably got his tuned in.
Always.
No, he's probably not listening. David is actually working his real job.
Oh, that's right. It's Friday.
It's Friday.
Forgot.
So I just got a message here from a listener of ours. His name is Mike, and he says, "Yes, sir. Could you please comment further on the Cleveland steamer?"
It all depends on what steamer you're talking about.
It runs up and down
Cleveland
the Great Lakes or
steamer,
something.
Houston steamer.
No, this would be the Cleveland steamer. I always thought that instead of, they had this whole big thing about the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah.
I think they just should have named them the Cleveland
That was
Steamers.
Mike, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
He apparently is listening. And I'm sure that, he's doubled over in laughter.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Or doubled over in
Let's hope he's not
Shooting.
in the air while he's texting.
shooting pains. Is it tested? This is one of those weird days that
It is. It's Friday. We're
it's
coming
Friday.
in the studio
it's
on a
not
Friday.
the 13th. Yeah. And we all show up here at 9 o'clock this morning going, why are we here?
There's usually beer cans tossed around. There's
Yeah, Don cleaned up the yard and everything.
clothing and things we got to pick up.
I was going to cut the grass this week, but I thought I'm waiting for it to start growing. It's not growing.
I fertilized this past week.
That doesn't make it grow right away.
No. It's a weed and feed is what it is.
Yeah.
Take care
Kill
of
the
weeds.
trees.
The lawn.
You know
Not
what?
the tree.
You know that it does kill the trees.
These trees aren't dying. These trees have been around for millions of years. They're huge.
Well, next on the garden line,
We're going to make a sandwich.
yeah. Golly, well, I don't know what else to tell you about the tariffs. I don't know what else to tell you about Cleveland
Or their steamers.
or the steamers.
We could go into a break before we get charged a tariff.
You want to do that?
I think so.
All right. Well, Jeff wins this round, this battle of
Always.
the steamers. So we're going to take a quick break here on the InWheelTime Car Talk Show, and we're trying to gather our thoughts and get an act together and see what we can come up with. But I needed to say this first, though.
Okay.
Mr. Mars is going to review the 2025 Chevy Colorado,
Dun,
along
dun,
with
dun.
Jeff's Car Culture feature on side view cameras that are going to take the place of mirrors.
Mirror.
The InWheelTime Car Talk Show is back in 2 minutes.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West
There's 6 of
Houston.
them you can put-
Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flamiado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
InWheelTime hits the road literally when we join the Hot Rod Tour of Texas on April 26th.
He's done. Go ahead.
Yeah. Do you know what that sounds like when you do that?
No, I really don't. I cannot hear a thing. That's why it amazes me that you can.
Well, my God, it's right here in my ear.
I know, but
You want to know what that sounds like? That's what it sounds like.
I just barely hear it.
Yeah, because you've got other things in your ears.
See, this is why I sit in the middle between these two guys. This is exactly why. We can't have anything nice around here with these boys.
No, you can't. It's like having two heathens in the house trying to divide up toys, and it never works out. I mean, you get in a fight with your best friend, and then you don't talk to each other for a couple of days, and then, hey man, listen, I'm sorry.
InWheelTime, the Heathen Edition.
That's this. Jeff's Car Culture, side view mirrors. Let's go.
All right. Well then, side camera mirror systems future is here. Side camera mirror systems, a cutting-edge innovation in automotive industry, are reshaping the way we see and interact with our vehicles. Traditional side mirrors may have been a staple of vehicles for decades, but they come with their fair share of challenges and limitations. Side camera mirror systems, on the other hand, offer numerous benefits, but they also present some downsides and legal hurdles that need to be addressed. Traditional mirrors can be obscured by factors such as rain, snow, dirt, or even insects, making it necessary for drivers to frequently adjust them or clean them to maintain proper visibility. This inconvenience can be particularly problematic during long journeys or in regions with unpredictable weather. In vehicles shared by multiple drivers, each individual may need to adjust the side mirrors and suit their unique preferences and line of sight. Failing to do so can lead to discomfort, reduced safety, and if the mirrors are not optimally positioned for the driver's height and seating position, especially when you crash into something. The design of the traditional side mirrors can generate wind noise and contribute to drag, especially at higher speeds. Reducing aerodynamic efficiency can impact both fuel economy and cabin comfort. Traditional side mirrors are unable to integrate advanced technology features. For instance, they cannot display additional information such as navigation guidance or blind spot monitoring, as is possible with side camera
is as big as a regular damn side view mirror.
It could be.
It looks like a little camcorder hanging out there.
Traditional mirrors provide minimal feedback to the driver about their surroundings. Side camera mirror systems often include features like distance markers or warning symbols that enhance drivers' awareness and safety. Traditional side mirrors are exposed to vulnerable and impact from other vehicles, obstacles, or even careless pedestrians. This makes them more susceptible to damage, vandalism, and being knocked out of alignment, necessitating repairs or replacement. Shame on that. Side camera mirror systems provide a wider and more comprehensive field of view compared to traditional mirrors, significantly reduce blind spots. This can help prevent accidents when changing lanes or merging onto highways, making the roads safer for everyone, Michael. Which means some side camera mirror systems come with advanced features like lane keeping assistance and automatic adjustment. These features can aid drivers in maintaining a steady lane position and ensuring their mirrors are correctly aligned, enhancing overall safety and convenience. Unlike traditional mirrors, side camera systems are less effective by adverse weather conditions. They can adapt in various scenarios such as rain, snow, or fog, ensuring the drivers have a clear visibility at all times. The sleek design of side camera mirror systems contributes to improved aerodynamics, reducing wind resistance, and potentially increasing fuel efficiency. And we all want that. The installation and repair of side camera mirror systems can be more expensive than traditional mirrors. The technology involved, such as high-quality cameras and displays, can drive up the initial cost of the vehicle. Repairs can also be pricier. Drivers accustomed to traditional mirrors may take some time to adapt to new systems, adjusting to the camera display, and learning to trust the technology that lead into the initial confusion and discomfort. So overall, it's a new system. It's a new way of having your
cake and eat it too.
Yeah, having your cake and eat it. I was putting my son. I like it. I think it's going to be good. I could use it. I could adapt to it. You've got the rear mirror in the inside.
Those things are absolutely way too huge. There's no advantage as far as aerodynamics are concerned by what you just showed there. We have what we call a lipstick camera on the back of the helicopter that faces forward, and it's no bigger than a lipstick case.
And that is the ones that I showed you that we can find information on. They're all in Europe, and they're mainly on EVs.
Well, of course.
So they're not on any ice vehicles or anything
Well,
like
you know,
that.
a couple of them I thought was real good. And I thought maybe that's what this was going to be. The camera that's on the existing side mirrors, whenever you turn the blinker on, it comes up like in the speedometer or the tachometer, but it comes up on the dash, and you can see it on your dash. You don't have to do all this other stuff. And that's basically a little lipstick type size camera on an existing side mirror.
And
I don't
I like-
understand some of that stuff. I'm with you. That's kind of
defeats the purpose with the size of those things that we just saw there.
They look like camcorders hanging out there. or
And are
something.
they going to put it? Objects in the mirror are larger than they appear. That kind of thing. So
Oh, that thing with the convex and the concave, and
Yep.
objects in mirror may appear closer than
Yep.
they really are.
yep. Is that going to happen?
I think we need
I
to
don't
put
know.
that on everything.
And some of these actually go into the fender.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
Let's
which
have a
is
motor
cool.
that breaks. It doesn't retract it, and I got all that.
I got you.
Well, Mr. Mars, you're not going to do your Chevy Colorado right now, so you might as well put
Oh, did
those
I go
pieces
over?
of paper away.
Did I go over?
But don't put it totally away, because what we're going to do is we're going to start off with your review for the next quarter.
All right.
Okay?
Yeehaw!
All right. I guess that means okay. God.
Well, it is rodeo.
It is in the rodeo
Mike
season.
is a rodeo.
All right. We're going to take a quick break here on the InWheelTime Car Talk Show. And we're going to try and do this whole thing all over again for the next half hour,
Oh,
but
Lord.
do it better.
More better.
Mo better.
A lot more better. InWheelTime continues in a minute.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. It's time for the 47th Annual Corvette Chevy Expo in Galveston, Saturday and Sunday, March 15th and 16th at the Galveston Island Convention Center. This premier indoor event features iconic Chevrolets, from classic Camaros to America's sports car Corvette. See over 135 displays, automotive vendors, and unique finds at the expansive swap meet. You'll also see the all-handmade Galveston Craft Show, featuring over 100 local artisans. Be part of this Chevy celebration, March 15th and 16th. For tickets, visit CorvetteChevyExpo.com. That's it for this podcast episode of the InWheelTime Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.